Today we have an Oreck XL Extended Life vacuum cleaner. This is a commercial grade Oreck. It says it right on the front. You might be able to see it in the camera, maybe not, but we will take a closer look in this video for sure. What's unique about this is this was a secondhand vacuum that my family, I believe, I'm possibly wrong, and please in the comments let me know, that my family acquired early 90s. I want to say somewhere from 1990 to 92, and I am fairly certain this was a used Oreck at the time, and they spent what was considered a lot of money at that time for it. And it resided in our home for a while, and then it got commercial use for about, I want to say 8 years in the family business. I don't think it got heavy use in that commercial application, but nonetheless, it was actually in the environment that it was intended for. Then after that, it came back to residential use in our home. And at some point, probably in the mid 2000s, I took it with me when I moved to my own location. And I used it as is, and I'm sure replaced the bags and the vacuum bags inside now and again, of course, when they filled up. Probably a belt here or there over the years, but really nothing much to service this thing. However, my experience is you don't need to do much to these things to service them. This probably in 2000, somewhere between 2006 or 7, this vacuum actually came with a much shorter cord. It came with a white cord, and I remember using it in my apartment, vacuuming, and occasionally getting zapped, and it really was the cord. It had worn out so much it had frayed away. The other item that has been replaced on it is the outside bag here, that what is branded Oreck. I tend to think that it was a different color or shade of gray. I do not remember. So it would be interesting in the comments if somebody knows. And the belt, like of course replaced the belt. So I had the cord replaced, I had the bag replaced. This was something I did. However, this was before I kind of have the knowledge that I do now. I would have done all of that work myself. To replace a cord is easy. And of course the bag, I'm sure it's really, really easy. The motor itself, I'm not going to tear into it today. Motor itself is the original motor, of course. Whatever these things need to be done to service the actual motor aside from the belt, I'm unsure of. If it's something similar to an electric motor that you would find in a fan, if it has a bearing that needs to be oiled, I'm a little unsure of that. There is a great video out there by another YouTuber out there who services a very similar Oreck, and I will put it in the description, a link to his video. What is interesting about his is, I've seen many this way, is instead of the red, it's fully gray. So gray handle, gray housing at the bottom. And I'm curious what the difference is. What I didn't pay attention to in that video is that one a commercial grade like this. And if it is not a commercial grade, what's the difference between commercial grade and non-commercial grade? Needless to say, this thing is bulletproof. You could not service it and really abuse the heck out of it, and it will still perform very well. So the location I have it in these days, it gets very, very light duty. I have 2 small rooms that have carpet. The rest of the place is hardwood floor, so I only use it on the carpeted areas. Very light duty. We're going to use it today. But before I do, just to point out these things, those who are familiar with them, this is not a big deal. What I like is these are magnetic up front, or there's a magnet under here. Well, this is just like a stopper, but there is a, because I've turned it over and there's been paper clips and everything magnetized to the bottom of it, which I think is pretty cool. This cord, as we're getting back to the cord, what I like, and I know some people, are torn between an OEM cord versus whatever this was put on at the time. What I do like about it, if I'm not going to care about it not being original, is that it is super long. It's much longer than the original. I haven't measured it, but it feels like it could be 20 feet long, which is long. And it's that same type of insulation that is very typical of what the original is. And it's red. I think it's neat that it's red because it matches the rest of it. When I did get this done in 2006, 7, or 8, as I said before, I did take it to an Oreck shop. So these are all Oreck pieces. So they're probably used on different models. So they just, they probably used what they had in stock. And I do appreciate the longer cord because we know when vacuuming, sometimes that's the hassle with it is, plugging, stopping, replugging it in. And, it's, maybe if we look at the information, we can see model XL 9300, Oreck Corporation, New Orleans. Do not use when rug or floor is wet. Well, yes, it's not a shop vac. It says UL listed 90. I don't know if that has anything to do with the year. Serial number 10226419, 120 volts, 60 hertz, 3.2 amps. So that's what I can tell you about the information on the back. Disconnect before servicing. Well, no kidding. Well, I did say we'd take a look. So I did replace the brush on there, if that's what you call that. And it looks like there's a few little things wrapped around it. Looks like I have to get another belt for it because that belt, the spare belt, which I think is so neat about these, they have a little compartment for a spare belt. I believe I'm using the spare belt, so I gotta order more, which I might have actually. I think I do actually have. And then the original information, I think this is pretty neat that we still have this. It's probably the first time I've ever looked at it, really. Because they had to replace the brush, the worn belt. This is when a product was really made well. You could service it yourself, where most products today you cannot, even though we do anyway. For those of us who are into fans and other kind of portable devices, we find a way to, we hack it so we can service it. But these were designed to be serviced. Extended life, they are not kidding. This is an extended life. The fact that this was possibly acquired in 1990 and it's now 2024. Really cool stuff. So we're gonna pause this video and going to do a little vacuuming. Remember to like, subscribe, any comments to help. I would appreciate it. Thanks for watching.